What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Burke, aka Dansweight here, and welcome back to another premiere episode of the Final Fantasy X Masters Mod by Karifean. Let's get going with this week's episode. So, we've got Lance of Atrophy, Full Life, Cross Cleave, Total Annihilation, Flare. Yeah, so a few potentially problematic moves there. Yeah. Don't fancy my chances much on my first attempt, or my second, for that matter. So we'll try and mix it up a bit. Again, we'll do a bit of like Victim, some Comrade, some Sufferer, whatever it might be. So we'll try like a bit of a status effect protection kind of thing. Don't think there's going to be much of an encounter, but it might be worth it. Yeah, Berserk might end up being a thing. I don't think it had break. Well, used to be susceptible to Silent Strike once upon a time. Okay. So, let's... Let's just begin with some relatively quick characters and see how we do. So what I'm going to do here is, every time I want to attempt Flux, I'm going to just do this. And I'm also going to reactivate Cutscene Remover. Because this is one cutscene I do not want to watch 50 times. Because basically, depending on RNG, you can either get through here clear or with an encounter. Obviously, I just want to get through without an encounter. So, first attempt against Flux. Let's see how we go. This is like a true like big time boss here. This is easily the most dangerous boss we've faced up until this point. I am shook right now. Alright. So let's read this first. I already saw the word unreachable, which I don't like. Tucked away behind Morty, he is unreachable by melee physical attacks. Very well. So what we're going to do, this first attempt, we're literally just going to have a little scan here. This is always the research attempt. We're not trying to win here. Okay, interesting. Still weak to slow, but still extremely powerful and dangerous. Occasionally uses elemental magic. His Total Annihilation dispels both shell and protect with its first hit. Immune to provoke, sleep, darkness. Also, Poison and Silence still work as they did in the OG as well. Interesting. Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do, this is the kind of fight where you need to take shit seriously. So I'm literally getting a notebook out here, and I'm gonna write down what it's immune to, just so I can remember for the future. So, What it is susceptible is slow, poison, silence, and probably breaks, if I had to guess. So I think those are the ones that we can afflict. Yeah. Okay. Very well. Lance of the Sticks. Okay. So that move is essentially the same. But what we should do is also scan Multi. So let's start with a Sloga, see if it retaliates with anything if we do that. So Multi is immune. Let's do a scan of it as well. $6,000. Uses CTB Cure to give either Seymour a fast turn or delay the turn of zombified characters. Power Break on Seymour reduces the damage of Cross Cleave. Break their synchronization if you can, or you may regret it. Okay, so Mortia is probably immune to everything, from what I can tell. Poison, Power Break, Magic Break, Confusion, Berserk, Provoke, Threaten, Sleep, Silence, Darkness, Haste. So that's like a pretty full list to me. Oddly enough, Provoke, no, it isn't there. When they're all rotating through quickly like that, it's kind of hard to track. But I think that's the full list. So that afflicts slow and zombie, I feel. Oh, it afflicts many a thing. That's not good. Okay. So let's begin with heals from ice, interestingly enough. In case you want to use your Auron counter-attack weapon. So, yeah, he can't be hit with this stuff. Is it just going to say out of range, or is it just going to be blocked? Out of range. Okay. Very well. Watch out when they synchronize. Okay, do not want them to synchronize. At least it has no elemental stuff. Now, let's begin with a bio on Seymour. See how it affects him. It's going to be minimal damage, but damage that we should take nonetheless. CTB Cure. Blast Zone. Okay. Is it one hit KO? Not far off. Right, okay. Takes 1% of his total HP. Fine. But even with slow, obviously it's not exactly the slowest slow in the world, you know? Boss battles are the place to start using some of this stuff. Okay. Trouble is that takes away haste. That's the biggest problem, more than anything else. Alright, bit of that as well. Let's haste Lulu back up again. We can. Alright, Lance of the Sticks is back. Basically, he's doing what he can to keep you from being hasted up in this fight. Obviously. Okay, now 5,200 and something. Bosses are often not immune to Dem, you know? Let's have a look. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. I think that's a specific counter to that being used. Yeah, okay. Fine. What we should do for Riku is... of course, I should have changed to this one. Let's see what Multi does now. Is it another blast radius one? Silence proof. Right, okay, so you get one shot at it. It's probably best to not use it too soon. Remedy. Yeah, the brakes are just very nasty. But it's the kind of thing where maybe honestly it's better to just sacrifice her and let her die in those situations. But status-wise, we haven't been affected too badly, honestly. But just want to make double sure that this is a counter. Yeah, it's a counter. Okay. Fine. Not a lot of Phoenix Downs here. I should have brought more. Kind of forgot. Sooner. Okay. Obviously no idea when Cross Cleave is coming in. Penta Blizzara, okay. This is probably going to kill us. Yeah, this, like, you can't prepare for that in advance unless you fight the whole fight in SOS HP, so could not have known. But Blizzara came in first. I assume that means that's the first one of the set that comes in, so that's fine. Does this go straight into the fight, or is it... Ah, perfect. Okay. So now we can prepare a little better. We should just do this whole fight in SOS, honestly. Now. I think what I might do, I forgot to buy more Phoenix Downs. I'm going to turn encounters off here, because it's only a partial run back. And so I can definitely do this partial run back. This would save me some time. I think I'm going to invest what I do have left in more Phoenix Downs, I think, for this fight. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those where maybe letting characters die might be a better idea. I'm going to do that. Okay, let's take another look. Slow proof is kind of nice, honestly. So, let's see if we can build something for Tidus that makes him better. Damn, even 25 Holy Waters doesn't give you a zombie proof. That's nasty. Okay, we'll just have to use the Holy Waters. It is what it is. Me and slow proof and auto med might prove to be an interesting combination here, so it's worth experimenting with that one. Anything else that could be useful? Reflect is always such a difficult one to work with. Like, it can really help in a lot of situations, but then just when you're not used to using it, you always forget that they have it on and you do stupid shit that can cost you the fight. So, it might not be so wise. But basically this means that once he gets hasted, he keeps his haste, and I think that's a big deal. Only problem being, obviously, he doesn't have good elemental protection for this particular one. So from there, he'd kind of have to switch to something else. So it might be a good start, though. I kind of want to go with this team, honestly, for a while. See what we can do. So all of this slow-proof business, I'm hoping, generally helps me with that. Stone-proof. Let's see what we can do for her. I think there's definitely a pattern there as well that I'm going to have to figure out. This time I'm going to start noting turns as well. So I've got to really crank it up here and try and keep up. Stone-proof, slow-proof. What else? Try that. Because she's going to be using Demi a lot in this fight, so I feel like this setup could work quite well. Let me get out and back in to refresh the autosave here. Because I want to give it some proper attempts with this. So I think for Lulu, Victim might work well. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. I want to go in for an attempt number 2 now. With this setup. I might end up needing to buy more holy waters, but I think that phase will skip eventually. The Lance of the Sticks thing. So start with the slow. And I think I'll still use the Chocobo Wing to get cracking here. Get off to a bit of a quicker start this time. Start with... I think it would waste a turn on the Asuna, that's what's a good thing. So... Oh no, she tossed the remedy. Ugh, I hate that. Yeah, we're going to run out of remedies by the end of this fight. That's not what I wanted. I forgot that it did poison as well. I thought maybe it's just slow. But if you look at the turns now, this is what I wanted in terms of the turns. It makes a very big difference. So what we'll do, I want to bring in Auron for some breakage here. Yeah, frick. Forgot. Okay, let's not do that. I think we're in a pretty good place here, because obviously CTB-wise we have a pretty big advantage at the moment, but we need to capitalize on that. So we'll try and use this for a bit of buffing first. Only problem is we can only heal with items really in this one. So that's a bit of a problem. And we're going to be hit with something heavy soon. So started with Lance of the Sticks. But getting this many turns is kind of wild, but the slow proof obviously is doing very well here for me. Might also protect me from CTB damage, but then again that only applies if you're zombified, so it should be okay. But yeah, Seymour's turn is nowhere to be seen at the moment. Break. Okay. I mean, reapplying a haste now and then is not the end of the world. Ah, I forgot about the breaks. Yeah, the breaks suck. That means that I'm going to take a huge amount of damage because I don't have Dispel. Power Break, Magic Break. Okay, it's not... I don't have defensive breaks, so that's maybe not the end of the world, honestly. That could have been worse. Fine. So I think we stay the course for now. And we just see what happens. Okay, so it's Lance of the Sticks, Blast Zone. Yeah, definitely way less damage there. That looks good. And we have some overdrives coming along too. Now, is it Seymour that casts the elementals, or is it Morty? I think it's Seymour. But it doesn't matter how many focuses and whatnot that we have, obviously, in terms of surviving those spells, we don't have a shot. So we have to be extremely careful. $4,400. Okay. Just thinking, is there anything else I can use? But really? Yeah, if it's a Penta, they're just not surviving. It was like 4,000 or something per hit. It's like 20,000, brings it to 10,000 with Shell, and maybe 7,000 with, like, it's just, it's an obscene amount of damage. But I think it's worth a try. Alright, let's begin with... Well, I think we need one more focus here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try and bring in Yuna and haste her up as well, and just use her purely for... Yeah, it's a bit of a shit combination. Okay. But thankfully it doesn't help things a lot, so that's good. Yeah, look at his turn. It's all the way in the middle of nowhere. So, Yuna's going to come in now, and she can Null Frost here. Because that's what's coming next. And it makes it easier to get her in and out, so we'll do that. It's Demi again. Still doing big chunks of damage with Demi. Yeah, that's the only downside. I didn't want to waste my stuff there. But.
Do you not want to heal Spira's sorrow? Let death carry you off into peaceful slumber.
You can't run from your fate.
Alright. Now. think while I'm here, let's continue to buff a little bit. So I think for now, let's just chill. And let's see if it's going to be some kind of penta bullshit. No, it is a Suna. Okay. Another Null Frost here. Get the slow back on. I wonder if we can do like a slow proofify. Hopefully not. Let's do a Demi again. Still doing 6,000 damage. Take that. Any day of the week. She just about survived. So here, I will use an X potion. So I believe this is going to be Penta Blizzara here. And we'll see if we got any chance to survive in this. So Yuna has Shell, Lulu has Shell, Riku has Shell. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it is Penta Blizzara. Okay. Fine. That could have been way, way worse. I'll take that. Now. 3,300. Let me bring him back in. Yeah, obviously you can't like slow proof everybody. There's only so much you can do. But I do want to haste her up again. And while the overdrives are charging, now, is there anyone who doesn't have Shell? I think the answer is Tidus. In comes Break. Now this should be interesting. Does Tidus... I guess he doesn't keep his haste. That wouldn't work. Yeah, it's one inconvenience. Yeah, he loses like the shell, the null shock, all of that kind of stuff, which is unfortunate. 1-6, okay. Hmm. 1-6-9. Yeah, at this stage I don't know what it's going to do next, so we have to be careful. Let's try a Thundara. Okay. Just in case it tries to rotate through all of the stuff now. Right, it is back to Blast Zone. We're pretty even to that. Now. Let's do this. So the entire fight, how are you supposed to power break? Other than Aura and Overdrive, I'm not quite sure what you do. I thought maybe there's some kind of way to do something with it, like to incapacitate it by KOing it, but not the case. Okay. I think it's worth a scan here to keep up with the HP. I need to know what Flux is up to. So already this is looking much better thanks to those slow-proof armors. I'd say we're doing decent. Okay. So obviously it's a little bit of a hang in there with the overdrives. Try to charge up those overdrives and then when it's time, really unload. Okay, let's see. So he doesn't like elemental damage. I mean, how much are we doing now? Even with magic rate, 2,700. Yeah, it's not ideal. I am just wondering how well Reflect would work, but well, I assume overdrives are not out of range, right? So when it's time, we will do that. So for now, I'm gonna not really attack here. And we're gonna have to leave it up to Lulu a little bit to try and get stuff done here. At least this charges up overdrives when the retaliation comes in. So Yuna nearly has one too now. Oh, a singular one. I was not expecting that. Okay. That was fortunate. That was definitely fortunate. Let me continue to keep a note of that. That's interesting. Alright. Now, I think in this scenario, Riku's one of the few people that can actually still do some good damage here, but I'm gonna try to be fairly sparing with this stuff. Yeah, it's still slowed. I think we'll do a bio again. Right, there comes the Thundara. That's so unlucky. Same character 3 times. Get out of here. So it's a bit tough. Okay. Penta, Thundara. So where does Blast Zone come into it? Does that mean that it has a choice to make, or did I not track correctly? Thanks to the alchemy, she comes back with full HP at least. That's something. 6. Good. Alright, 65,000. At least she doesn't have Magic Break anymore, right? So that's kind of nice. Let's go for it. Okay, I'll take that. Doesn't have shell. Just keep that HP high. Now I assume it's not going to move on to the next element until it's done a normal Thandaga. I'd be annoyed if it did anything else. But I think Cross Cleave is also not too far away. So, now, I anticipate Cross Cleavers not being too far away, and I do not want to get wiped out by that. So it has been the Lulu show so far. I know you guys love to see a Lulu show, and that's what she has been providing. She's going to need some more MP, but that's fine. Okay, Blast Zone again. This is a good move for us. Okay. Now. Damn, I forgot she had... What? Why did she have water again? That was a mistake, maybe. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I totally forgot about that. I need to double check what the hell that is, because I think I accidentally gave her that, and then I changed it or something, and then I forgot to remove that move from her list. Yeah, that's not right. I guess why not Outbed Potion? I'm gonna use an Ether here. Okay. Multi also always comes back with 6,000, which I'm finding interesting. Mighty Guard, okay. Synchronize Annihilation Mode. So yeah, obviously we do not want them to synchronize if we can help it. So it's only Mighty Guard on himself. And Slow is still there. Interesting. Okay, so far so good. But I'm not exactly sure obviously what synchronized... I mean, that would mean that if they don't get back-to-back turns, then that's fine, but I'm not sure it works like that. Multi. Okay, synced with Seymour. Seymour! Now. I'm just wondering, maybe I can do enough damage with one of these gems to also do an extra 6,000, so let's take a look. Right before Annihilation, I'm going to try to summon, obviously in the hopes that it might save me. 40,000. 393. Okay. Blitzace completely removes my turn, but am I power broken? If I'm not, then I should do a lot of damage. Yeah. Okay. I think this might be worth doing. Here we go. Hoping for good damage here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, wow. Whoa. That was awesome damage. You know what? Do you go for a flare, or... I think when it's the case that it's like an elemental one, you got to go for a double one of these. $19,000. So what's going to happen here is that hopefully Morty gets hit and does an absorption. Yeah. 11,000. I think we got a shot here. I think we actually have a shot. So. How do we make sure here? Obviously I'm going to use a flare with Lulu. I think we have enough to get over the line here. Just depends how much damage flare does, really. No. Just trying to look at all of my options here and really make sure. Like, I'm wondering, is a Kimari Flare a better idea? But the magic defense is relatively high. I'm not sure Flare's going to do that great. So 2 of Riku's turns, I think we end up doing maybe 3,000, something like that. And while maybe we get lucky and a lot more of the gems actually hit. It's a shame, if only Riku had an overdrive as well, that would have been pretty perfect, but I think for now, I'm not seeing too much of a better option than this. Let's do this. Now, big question is how much will Flare do? Yeah. See, this would have been kind of perfect because I wanted to use a magic boosted Flare, but I can't. But let's go for this. 4,600. Gotta do it. Here we go. This would be like a second try win against Flux if I manage this. I think the slow proof has made a huge difference here. Now, if somehow it's able to block my Aeon Overdrive, I'll be pissed. Because this is literally death. I was thinking, should I do an auto life instead? But come on now. Come on now. If I had a different overdrive mode for Riku, if she was on Comrade as well, I think this would have been finished without needing this. But if we win here, I'm definitely not complaining. There you go. Overkill. Well, I think they're all overkills anyway. But we did it. On the second time of asking. And yeah, we have the same old situation where we didn't use every single character, therefore one of them didn't get it, but I don't care. So I need to definitely take a look at this and make sure I add the right sphere levels for Auron. But yeah. Whew. Purifying Soul and Tetra Elementals and a Bright Taj. That's an interesting... I kind of expected more than just a Bright Taj. That seems a bit... Okay, Sense Preserver plus all of those extra slots. That's kind of nice. But there we go. Did it. And we even had 2 remedies to spare. So, I think in general, the slow proof plus auto med combination is not bad. Like, it could definitely help us in more than one fight. So, we'll see how that goes. But that was a huge win for me. Absolutely massive. I think, like, I was generally surprised by how much CTB advantage you gain. He literally straight up removed the chest, I think, yeah. Oh, no, he didn't. It's still invisible. There you go, 2 high potions. Thank you. Excellent. Just what you need after a battle against Flux. But, yeah, I think what surprised me was just the agility swing. Not the agility, like the CTB swing when you manage to slow it and haste everybody up. And obviously, as a result of being able to keep my haste status as a result of slow proof, even with stuff like CTB Cure, like, it just couldn't keep up. And so I was really surprised at just how many turns I could get. So, honestly, maybe this is the first time that I would say, does it maybe need a few tweaks to make it a little bit, like, less winnable by whatever method I just used there? So I'm curious to see what Karifean thinks. Is it more of a, well, you made the right preparation, you know, you did the slow proof auto med thing, you saved yourself a lot of turns, and, you know, you won fair and square? Or is he looking at that thinking, nah, maybe he got through a little easier than he should have. I should maybe have made a tweak to it or done something a little differently. I'm not sure. Definitely curious to hear, like, Karifean's take in the chat and in the comment and stuff. Because, honestly, this, for me, was almost a first-time win. Like, I wasted turns on the scan and experimenting with stuff. It wasn't a real attempt, that first one. And so my first genuine attempt, we basically won. What was the second, maybe? I don't remember now, but... yeah, I would say relative to how difficult I was expecting it to be, and how difficult some of the stuff has been, it was a little easier than I expected. I will have to admit that. Now, one thing I would say is that maybe another reason is because this is just a really tough area of the game. Like, you have a very difficult cave section coming up with a lot of high-level encounters, and then you have Sanctuary Keeper afterwards, and there's no more shops from here. There's no more, like, new weapons and stuff to be sold, no new armors, and so it's coming up to such a difficult section of the game. Maybe he thought, if I make Flux so difficult that even no matter what preparations you have, it's going to take, like, everything. You're going to be using a ton of resources and stuff no matter what you do, then maybe players will have a greater chance of just being basically blocked out by the time they get to Unalesca. And so maybe he didn't want to absolutely destroy you with that stuff, because obviously in the main game, and most challenges you do after Flux, if you need to restore some items or you need to farm for some stuff or whatever you need, you can always do it. But with this one, because it's a progressive system and there's basically nothing else you can pick up in between, I think sometimes he has to sacrifice the difficulty of an individual fight to maintain the progression throughout. So that's the one thing that I'm thinking about. And obviously I think Karifean's shown more than enough expertise at this point that in general, I'm happy to go with whatever he says. I mean, just because some of the battles end up being a bit easier than expected, it's not like he has to change anything. But I'm just genuinely curious, like, compared to the other people he's watched, what did that attempt look like? Was it very different? Was it very similar? All that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's why I thought I'd give it a little bit of an outro. I'll most likely end an episode here. That seems the most likely thing. And so, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. That was definitely, like, it was very intense in the build-up. But as soon as I saw how much the CTB swung, I was like, hold on, I have a chance here. And once I started to build up a few overdrives, like that Blitz Ace was absolutely huge. The fact that he came back, like Tidus died, came back, didn't have any power break stuff going on. The fact that Lulu died and came back was ultimately a blessing in disguise because she lost the magic break. And so the two of them together did a huge amount of damage, and then obviously was still enough to get over the line with Bahamut. So it ended up being a pretty nice win. I enjoyed that. So thank you all for watching. Thank you once again, Karifean, for everything you've been doing for this mod. Continue to have a great time. Surprised I managed to avoid a game over thus far in on the Gagazet climb. It was definitely very arduous, as I expected it to be. But here we are, and the next section is definitely also going to be quite tough. We have even more difficult enemies to come, including stuff like the Dark Flan, which I don't even want to know at this point. But it has been, I think, maybe like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And so we've managed to do a very significant portion of the game in the Gagazet climb / Flux. And so I'm looking forward to coming back for the next one. So hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I will be, as I say, adjusting Oren's sphere levels once I'm done. And we will continue the next session with using some sphere grid and then heading into the cave and trying to reach Sanctuary Keeper. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.